um, oh, I'm doing wonderful, thank you very much. And yeah, this is a weird one because we're actually casting a bit later tonight than what we usually would. So I'm looking forward to see what these drivers have got in stores, because what the main thing is with Tier 4 is that a few drivers have actually changed lineups over the course of the last week, just so we can get the times, well, not the times, the you know, see, broadcast sorted. Sorry, I'm just getting more words out as well. But we've done that just to get everyone over, and this is the final race of the week. We shall see what everyone can do in terms of this.
Like a circuit like any other. I would say like France is just Monza, but French. But yeah, honestly, I feel it's gonna be a exciting race, and it's gonna be definitely exciting on what people do on their strategy at the moment.
Yeah, I was just
So
gonna.
currently we're at
I was gonna say
yeah.
apologies. I've just realised that I accidentally got you on mute for the first 2 minutes. Sorry, because my headphones were.
Oh,
But
that's fine, don't worry.
well,
Hi everyone. If you're hearing this now, my name is Shiv. I am a commentator here at Alien Motorsports, and today we are commentating the French Grand Prix. So it is Tier 4, which is probably one of the best caliber of drivers that we can get. Pretty much every caliber of every tier and every caliber of drivers would be the best calibers we can get. But these are individuals who've just started. Think of it as like more so Formula 4, right? To Formula One, which is Tier 1, which is the big boys essentially. So currently we're commentating round 10, right? In season 3, round 10 off the calendar. We're doing France. Now, France is always an interesting circuit. Now, it's highly debated that France is a very boring circuit, but I feel like it's a wonderful circuit, especially with turns. Obviously, the first lap chaos and the whole thing with 2018, where you had like Fernando Alonso's radio comments back when he was in the McLaren. You had the two Frenchmen of Gasly and Ocon both crashing out on their home Grand Prix. Well, there's three Frenchmen on the grid. So it's Gasly, Ocon, and Grosjean. But yeah, it's definitely a very exciting race, and especially on the main straight with turns 7, 8, 9. I would say turn 10 as well with that big like loop. I would say that it's called the Jensen Button loop because he likes to do it all in one sweep. I might be wrong. Let me know. And as Odin64 says in chat, yes, it is known for good overtaking and hype. So let's talk tires today, people. Now we're looking at qualifying laps. We currently got the two Renaults, the two French-based team on it's 1 and 2 for them. It's a 128.4 for Dragon and Marley in both the Renaults. They're only about 3 tenths apart at this point. The only issue I'd say with majority of lap times is that they're on the soft. Now, as me and Adira were discussing, right, the softs aren't that great at France, and you want to tell them why?
because it's kind of just like places like China, the tyre just degrades really quickly, so you're going to lose a lot of time on the degrade. So the mediums yesterday, on the Tuesday, I had to keep the mediums out to lap 18 because the rain was coming, because I was going to lose out on a pit stop. So in the end, my mediums just fell off the edge of a cliff, and then it turned out the hard guys caught up, and you just lose that much time. And if you stay out, those few extra laps, it's really not worth it. But at the moment, the main person who's got that idea is Goldie, who is in P6 for Racing Point, who's switched around from Tier 3 to be in Tier 4 with his teammate Toby. Toby making his race debut today, and we'll be looking to, as actually Odin's put in chat, the course is more grainy and he's right. And Odin, I was just going to say, if Odin has retired, any reason to why you've retired, or have I got drivers mixed up? But saying that, you want the car will just step out otherwise. But it looks like we're going to have a dry race by the fact everyone's going on the softs, and we'll be looking at that medium to hard, but we will see how that plays out over the race. But at the minute, it's actually a French domination. We have 5 Frenchies in the top 5 at the moment, and
really?
yeah, so we've got a lot of well, I am not a god by Odin, but at the minute they're currently locking out away from Wakati, who's in P6. But I think, in all honesty, the best person at the minute is Goldie, just simply because if he can keep out of trouble, he'll be alright on those tyres. But we've got a few more guys like Neon Rays and Fusions who I think could rock the party at the top and split the drivers, and I wouldn't say it's a dominance, just split them, but we shall see it as we've got Danny Lanfear as well on the mediums. But
and also Controller in the McLaren, who's just going out for his outlap, is also opted to go on the medium tires. Danny in the Alfa Romeo is just pitted. He's just got on 130.2. Sorry to interrupt you there, but pretty much, as I think, to reiterate on your point, Goldie, I think, is in a prime position, and here's why. There are some circuits, right, where you can start at the back and you'll be absolutely screwed. Take like Monaco, take Hungary, take Austria, kind of exactly. I wouldn't say, not Hungary and Austria, you could overtake on circuits, but take Monaco, for example, right? Can't exactly do that. But if you do it at France, because of the whole turn 1 chaos, right, and everyone kind of dipping down into that first couple of corners, and especially, I'd say, turns 5 and 6 before the main straight is going to be such a chaotic mess that being on the mediums might actually help him. But as I'm saying this, we're just gonna see how Danny Fair is P12, so that's a 130.2. Goldie Fair is P7, so 129.3.
I was gonna say
I feel like Goldie is.
Sorry, we've got Nadal just finishing the lap now and see where he goes, because he might jump Goldie down. But we'll go on board with that for a lap in a minute, just to have a look how everyone does. But Nadal coming up to line, will he improve on that 128? And he does by 4/10, and that puts him up into P2. But just what was you gonna just carry on with your point with Goldie? But actually, saying that, Goldie has changed his strategy and he's going for the softs. So he obviously sees a different light to what these guys are seeing. But a few of the guys in Tier 1 did a few laps on the medium tyre, but we had pretty much, if you look at the comparison of the tiers, like in Tier 1 we only had 2 people starting on the soft tyre, and that was Ridvan and Iason. But the thing was, Ridvan got a safety car at the best time and literally could just switch to the hards to the end, and that's what a lot of people did. But in this case, if these guys who are starting on the softs do get a safety car around lap 9 or 10, they'll be laughing all the way to the end, because they will not have to stop again, because the hards can go the difference, the mediums cannot. But if there is no safety car, but there's actually a really low chance of there being a safety car around here, we should be okay to see, well, the strategies actually coming into action and doing that. But either way, we've got Goldie on a lap now, and let's have a quick on board and see what he does for his lap as he comes up to turn 1 now. Won't be going down into 4th as he shifts down into 5th, so he's taking the gear up to what usually most people will keep it in 6th.
Ooh, Caldo's gotta get out of the way. Alright, very respectful from him. He goes down through turns 3, 4,
yeah,
and 5.
What's surprising me, he's keeping it in a higher gear than usual. I know in this game you don't really get that much rotation in terms of.
You're obviously gonna want that extra rotation with TRL Limitless. Alright, he's going down the main straight right now.
I was gonna say,
Let's see his setup.
I thought he was gonna take the slipstream from that McLaren, but either
When
way,
does he brake? When does he brake? When does he brake? Ooh, okay, nice. That was nice late braking. I think the softs are better, especially on that turn, because the thing is, you kind
we
of
see.
want as much braking power as possible, right? So you kind of are gonna want to, like, the mediums can brake, but I would say the soft are the easiest. He's going a bit wide on that corner, but he is trying to keep it there, to touch the curbs. Try not to invalidate your lap
Oh,
because
he
he's
locks up a
doing.
little
Oh,
bit.
he locks up. All right, but it wasn't too bad. All right, he's in the 115s
He's
now. What
currently
is he gonna get?
he
He's
was one.
rounding.
He was 6 tenths of coming through sector 2, but let's see
Ooh,
as he
that's not
powers down
too
the line.
bad.
Decent exit. So let's see as he hits the DRS zone. Now he
I
goes
feel like top five quite easily. And
pole position.
ooh, yes, pole position.
And
Damn.
first person into the 127s. So there you go. The barrier has been broken, and Goldie has actually got a considerable gap back to P2 with well, Mada was it? Sorry, Draguhan. I know that's not his name because there's a bit more. But either way, let's see what he can do. Can he get ahead of Goldie after that brilliant lap by him? So let's see what he can do. But he's coming through sector 1 now, and he's just about to end it. So is he on? He's essentially almost equal to his first time. But is his teammate gonna give him that slipstream down the main straight? Yes, he is, and he moves out of the way. And the Frenchies doing a little bit of toe, trying to get that pole position. And Davy Lee goes into fourth. Well, Davy Lee is Danny Lanfear was the one who went into fifth there as he improves his lap by 1.6. But there seems to be a lot of lag at the moment. I'm not sure why. But either way,
I think it's just
yeah,
server lag at this point.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see
I mean,
if he was up on his time, but he is a little. He's getting more, but he is coming through now. I mean, the thing is with this part of the track, I don't. You just want to. Oh, he's locked up
ooh,
again.
big lockup.
He locks up again.
Yeah. Yikes.
It's not.
That's not gonna be good for his tires.
Yeah, but as he comes up to the penultimate turn now, let's see where he does compared to Goldie. But Goldie obviously.
Oh, I don't really think he's gonna do too well. I mean, he's already at 120. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Let's power down the main straight. It's a 128. So he's actually gained a tenth from his time. His teammate's coming across the line. It is his out lap actually, so he wasn't doing. That's why he actually got a tow from his teammate. Very smart from the Renault. And the Renault's currently in P. One of the Renaults currently in P2. So French dominance is currently. I mean, from the French team isn't right there. But we're looking on board with Marley. He's just going down the main straight
He's
now.
1/10 up.
1/10 up. All right, a tenth is still a lot here, especially at France.
He's actually going to get the slipstream from that. What car is it? I think it's a
I
Red
think
Bull.
it's the half.
No.
Oh no, is
It's
it?
his teammate.
That's a Red Bull.
It's his teammate. So his teammate
Oh,
repairing
right.
the favour to give him
Yeah.
that slipstream. So let's see how he does. Is he going to be up?
Akin to Verstappen and Ricardo at the Austrian Grand
Oh,
Prix, I think so.
I was going to say the one thing Marley's got to be careful of, and his teammate's done exactly right, to not give him the dirty air through sector 2. And let's see how he attacks this turn. Marley on a controller, and yeah, you can see the interesting gears that people are taking, because Marley took that in 5th when usually you take that in 4th. But it's everyone as Toby retires from the session. But
It's going to be with this lap. But I feel like, ooh, a little bit of lock up, not too bad though. Let's see what is okay. Oh, big lock up, big lock up. All right, so we've got a 125 going across the line. What is he gonna get? What is he gonna get? People, drum roll, please. And that's a P2. That's 1, 2. So it's 2 and 3 for the Renault team. I think the tow from his teammate definitely helps him. It's a very smart play from the Renaults
yeah,
over here. He's actually gonna go in low fuel mode, just try to avoid all of the other drivers at the moment.
I was going
I
to.
think we've got Dave
Dave Lee.
Lee on another outlap.
I was,
Yeah, he's I think he's trying to improve his time at the moment. Yeah.
I was going to say Davey Lee. He is he's a very fast driver. He didn't have the best luck as one of the main guys, the championship leader, DM guy, retires from the session, and so does Fusion. So both of them changing their minds, and not going to do the lap. But Davy Lee, you can probably expect to see a bit more of a challenge from him, and I think he can make inroads on that top, well, the podium area, and we will be able to get in there. But what do that, but let's see what he can do. But we've got Danny Lanfear as well on charge, but these guys can probably break into that how would you put it, French dominated top four at the moment, and they are not gonna really do much in terms of getting another lap. So let's see what David Lee can do as he approaches the final turn now to do his final flying lap as Cosmin retires from the session. So
Oh no, he's done his out lap. He's just doing his flying up now.
yeah, I know. I'll say I was
Um,
just about to say, but either way, let's see how he does coming up to the finish line. Oh, hang on. Was that his? Oh no, he's doing his flying lap now. So Dave Lee
yeah,
is.
yeah, as I mentioned previously, he's doing his flying lap now. He's actually on his out lap at the moment.
I was
So
Connor
we
Renault.
have a Alpha Tower. I think it's stopped to the side.
Yeah, that is
I think yeah.
handicap. Yes, he has invalidated his lap. But David Lee's 2 temps up, so David Lee is already going to be moving up into that podium position. So let's see how he can do as he comes down the main straight now. He is going to be looking to get that pole position because he has signed a contract with Ferrari till the end of the season, moving from Williams to be with DM Guy, who has also left McLaren to be with Ferrari. So let's see what he can do as Mado retires from the session. But David Lee coming up to Sector 2, what is his time going to be like? He's 3 temps up, so David Lee could be moving
All right,
up
so
to P4 at this race.
I'm thinking the top three, barely. I feel like if he nails the last sector, ooh, okay, it was not too bad. It was pretty good. I would say endurance shifting because he doesn't like shift it rapidly. It's more so just um, like like you would brake and then you'd shift down to gain speed. It's really good. All right, he's nailing the sector. He's really hugging those curbs. And now what's it gonna be? It's a 120 across the line. Cool, let's go,
Is
let's
he
go.
going to do
Main
it?
straight. Let's get
127?
that Ferrari power, baby. A Ferrari power. What's it gonna be?
P4.
A 128. That's a P4. Oh, so close. It's only 2 tenths.
We've got Danny Lanfear now, his fellow Englishman, coming up to the line, and he's 1 tenth up, coming through sector 2. Can he improve as he comes up to the line? Let's see if he can. Danny Lanfear, very close to victory in a few races this season. Look, not being on his side as he comes up to the line. P5 with Davey Lee, so we have an English knockout. But from the look of it, Goldie is the one on pole position with a 127.9 and the only one to actually set one, and that is a widespread of times we have got there, and it is going to be an interesting race. But there you go, qualifying for the French GP2, and Goldie on pole in the racing point with Con in P2 and Marley P3 and Davey Lee and Daniel Lanfear P4 and P5.
What an interesting grid, eh? We have a one thing in chat. It's GG boys, grateful app. Dave Lee from Zach is very cool. I think Dave Lee will appreciate that. All right, cool. Your grid for today's race is Goldie in the Racing Point, Kona in the Haas. We got Marley in the Renault. We got Dave Lee in the Ferrari, Danny in the Alfa Romeo, Dragon in the Renault, Madal in the Red Bull, Keza in the Haas, Kaido in the McLaren, Waicha in the Alfa Romeo, Apris in the Red Bull, Neon in the Mercedes, Toby in the Racing Point, both the Alpha Tauris Handicap and Cosman in 15th and 16th, Kane in the Williams, DM Guy in the Ferrari, Fusions in the Mercedes, Controller on the McLaren, and Odin rounds your top grid. And Zach is very cool because he says, "Good job to all of you. It was a very close qualifying, only separated by 3 seconds. First lap chaos is gonna make this a hell of a race, and I cannot wait to see what
I was
happens."
going to say, hopefully we don't see any chaos, but we do have a dry race in France, which is perfect. And
A wet race in France. I mean, the thing is, right? France is actually the safest circuit on the calendar because of the big runoff areas, right?
yeah, I mean, the thing
Like, if you think of,
you've got a lot of
yeah.
space, but you can pick up a lot of time penalties, and we might see that
Oh
on
yeah.
the first lap because this race can be decided by penalties. The places where you most likely get penalties is turns 1 and 2, and you know when you're
Oh
coming
yeah.
down the first DRS zone, the second turn after that, because you've got to ride that curb, and then you just get a penalty for it. But well,
Hmm.
obviously this is F1 2020, and the time penalties are a whole different thing to real life. So track limits. What do you expect?
Yeah. All right, cool. So let's go on for our formation lap at the moment. We're obviously warming the tires right now. What are your predictions for the race? Who do you think is going to be the biggest winner, the biggest loser, and the biggest disappointment?
Right then, so the biggest winner and the biggest disappointment. We've got a few new drivers on this grid today. We have got a few new familiar faces making their tier 4
Is
debut.
Goldie racing? I feel like he's just moved from the pack. Is it a race for him?
I don't know. Some things up because they're all playing catch up. But either way,
Yeah.
let's get back to that. I think the person that could be the one to watch out for is Neon Rays. Neon Rays is a very quick driver. In Tier 3, he proved that he started on the hards, and if he can get that clean air going through the pack, he will be on to a very good strategy. Asprey's starting on mediums. Everyone in, well, down apart from Keane is on soft tire. The thing is about what the I don't know what happened
Ooh,
there. I was
Mattel.
good.
Ooh, both the Renault and the Red Bull are disqualified.
to,
So that means a grid place
and cold.
move up from anyone from 8th place
Oh,
onwards.
that all
That
that means cold
is.
tires at the start of the race. It doesn't really see in game. It doesn't disqualify you. What you do get is cold tires, which I think some people would rather be disqualified for, and especially when you're starting on softs. But there you go. The pit strategy coming on screen. You've got the medium to hard. Lap 13 and 14, you're looking at pitting the soft to hard, which isn't obviously on the infographic. You're looking at about 7 to 8, but those soft tyres, and around lap 4 to 6 just drop off the edge of a cliff. So that's what I'm saying. Neon Rays, I think, will be the one to watch. Just as long as there's not an early safety car on his hard strategy, he'll be okay. But I'm gonna say Neon Rays will be the one who will get onto the podium and will be a surprise. But I also think on pure pace, Goldie and Khan will also be in contention. But not to write off Davey Lee and Danny Lanfear, who both can get in that contention as well. But either way, we shall see as the cars line up for the French GP, also known as the Baguette GP, to some.
We'll see what happens, alright? Let's see if your predictions come true. Alright, everyone's running up. Engines are rumbling. How many lights we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's lights out. And away we don't go
This
because
is
the server is lagging.
F1 GG codes kick
And
off.
we go now. All right, and Hamilton Hamilton gets a good start. Goldie gets a really good start. So does Con. He's in still into P2. David Lee locks up in the first corner. He gets overtaken. He's in P3 now and overtakes Marley for P3 at the moment. You've got Danny Lafar in the runner. Oh, it is he sanctifying one yellow flag. I think someone spun, and that's the DM guy in the other Ferrari, and the handicap and DM guy. So the AlphaTauri and the Ferrari, both the Italian teams, are battling at the moment. As Oh, as Wachati spins, and I think that's wing damage for him as well. Both the all of the Italian teams have spun as the DM guy makes contact with the handicap,
Oh,
and everyone is
God.
onto the main straight right now. Oh, you can see chaos ensuing from Toby, from Pharaoh, from Keen as well, and Dragaton. Oh, everyone is just in such a straight line, and it's first lap chaos right now in the
I was,
moment. Okay, but Goldie has gotten along well. David Lee in P3 at the moment. Marlon trying to get his podium position back. You've also got Danny Lafar in the Alfa Romeo getting it, as Toby's actually left the session. I think it's just
Is that
internet
Odin?
issue.
Odin spun.
So Odin in the Williams. Odin has disqualified from the session. It's the wrong way, so that's one car already out of the race. That is the Williams out of the race. As Conroller in the McLaren, he gets a 3-second time penalty. That's not going to be useful to him as Toby is trying to reconnect. That's a really disappointing race for him, but things like this do happen,
But at the end of
especially here at France.
I'd say at the end of lap 1, Goldie is still holding that lead, and the person who has made is Neon Rays pits. So Neon Rays and
I think that was a front wing damage. Yeah, front wing damage. Yeah, so it's front wing damage, and he's going to go onto the mediums for the rest of the race. It could technically work. It really could. But at the same time, he's going to do a lot of tire management. A lot of people are moving from the soft to medium, so it wouldn't be a safety car necessarily. They're waiting for more sort of yellow flag and an opportunity to do so. But they've now got a new front wing, their pit stop out of the way, and some new tires. So I think it's a definite go go go. Especially if those mediums are fresh mediums as well.
Yes.
They haven't been used. Right. So, all right, we're looking at the current lead right now. We've got Goldie and Como and a Ferrari. So you've got a Racing Point, a Haas, and a Ferrari. You don't see this in real life.
Oh, sorry.
The
We
Renault
got
is trying to.
get past the Red Bull, yeah. Sorry, I'm interrupting that. And both of them and the Renault has got past. But I think what we're going to see is now is we've actually got a barrier of soft runners ahead of everyone. But we have Nadal and Danny Lanfear trading places for P5 and P6 as Danny Lanfear tries to look around the outside of him, but he has not got him yet. Let's see as he comes up to the next turn, and is he going to have a look at him down the main straight? I don't think he is. It's pretty hard to tell without the intervals, so hopefully they'll set themselves out after this lap. But it looks like Goldie and Con and Davey Lee, there's starting to be a little bit of a gap formed between Davey Lee and Con, but I don't think
Yeah.
we're going to...
However, that might change though. There's this little thing called Sector 3 yellow flag. Who's spun off?
Wakati.
I think it is Wakati. Wakati. Oh, it's gone from bad to race from worse from him. I think that's not front wing damage. I think it's just spun. All right, so he's very likely to not have any of those. As fuse zones in the Mercedes, also on the hard tires, goes into the medium tires. I think both the Mercedes have to have front wing changes done. Oh, yay, 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 yay. What a race, what a race. As I say this, Dragunathan gets really close to Kezeros, and this really thing, it's going to spice it up. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called DRS, right? DRS, for people who don't know, you get 1 second. You get within 1 second of the car ahead of you, you get your wing down and you can go fast. And especially on this main straight here, it is powerful. As we're looking on board with Dragunathan in the other Renault, his teammate in third, and overtaken by
Sorry,
yeah,
we had
Molly and David Lee.
trading places. Sorry
Marley.
about cutting in, but Marley,
Yeah.
Davey Lee is getting a lot closer to Marley, but I think that DRS is going to help Davey Lee overall. But we have Toby and Diembo trading places in the background at the same move, but that seems to be a very good turn for some people, so you know, that is better. But the main thing is Goldie's actually keeping that nice gap at the front to Con, and he is looking to take a victory here at this early stage, but I don't. It's going to be anyone's game. But we have Dragon and Kezeres going side by side with each other, and Kezeres just about holding Dragon off in that battle for P8. But you know, we got as Apsias as David Lee and Nadal trade places, so I'm not sure what happened there because David Lee looked like he came very deep out of the final turn. So he is.
I do think he locked up though. That's the main thing with, especially here in France. You kind of want to, the tires are gonna break early. DRS is gonna shake things up, especially with tire strategy. If someone pits early and does the undercut, they could potentially get a position back and defend for their life, and someone does the overcut, it could be the same thing. But
we got is that Cos? No, that is Asprey's trying to have a go on Cazares in for P9, but those medium tyres now I think are going to start having that advantage over the soft tyre, and he is the front runner on those medium tyres, and it's probably safe to say Keen's strategy of the soft tyre, unless there's a safety car he's not getting
I do hate to interrupt you here, but I do feel like Goldie and Connor are going to be in a little bit of a battle, because Connor was getting extremely hard on Goldie and on the main straight. I don't think that Goldie's got too much of an advantage now, especially with the worn softs. He has been locking up quite a bit, especially I would say into turns 13, 14, 15, and the start finish line. So it's those main turns right now he's been walking. As Odin leaves the session, I think that's Williams out of the race. That's really unfortunate for the Williams garage, but they've gotten one of their drivers, Keen, who is in 12th place at the moment. He's doing an excellent race. Just trying to catch up with Firo and Kezas both in 11th and 10th respectively. As Kona in the Haas, he was in the lead, and now he's pitting. Could this be a severe undercut? We don't know that, as Goldie does take the lead, then Marley, then Madel, then Dave Lee. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everyone gets a position. And what is Kana going into? Kana going into the medium, so he's just trying to get his pit stop out of the way as soon as possible. He's doing a two-stop.
So that is very interesting to see that he is going to do that two-stop compared to the front runner. But I've got to say, I don't think the two-stop is going to be as fast, so he's going to have to fight his way through the field to try and get up into the podiums. But either way, we shall see. So I don't really think the two stop's going to be that effective in terms of what we're going to see for battles.
Ooh, and so I hate to interrupt you, but Maddel's getting a Marley. Maddel has now passed Marley on the main straight right now, and as he goes into the penultimate corner leading into sector 3 at the moment, we've got both the Red Bull and the Renault battling with each other on the main straight. This is the
Oh,
type of racing you want to
oh,
see.
we've got
Constantly trading positions.
Kado and Dragohun behind each other, trying to get
Big
past.
train.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think at the minute, I'm just going to see how far Asprey's shuffling.
Dragonton does try to look down the inside of Kane right at the moment in the McLaren, but doesn't get the job done. He's
Oh,
trying
he's
to
going for
not
it.
lose it from like, oh, there's going the inside. Does he go for it? It's a big drag battle to the it's the McLaren and the Renault, both Renault powered engines at the moment, but McLaren
Kado
will
going to
switch to
pits.
Mercedes as Danny does go into the pits,
Oh,
and so
he
does
gets a time. He
Kato.
gets a time penalty. So Danny losing him. But
Oh,
speaking of that battle that you was talking about, Nadal and Marley both going for it across the finish line. So Danny Lanfear, oh, he's just. I think they're trying to go for the two-stop, or is they gonna go for the one-stop? But we'll see as they leave the pits now, as they all committing to that two-stop. So they thinking those tyres are not gonna last to the end. So I think at the moment the person whose race is playing into his hands is Asprey's on those medium tyres, and he is going to be looking at it. But speaking of that, Marley is getting really close to Nadal now, and he is gaining and gaining on him. He is actually getting caught with Dave Lee as well. Goldie is pulling out that gap 5 seconds already. So Goldie is
oh.
making it, but Dave Lee is getting a lot closer, and oh my god, locks up, almost going into the back of Marley then. But look, you can see those soft tyres squirming all over the place at the moment. Definitely not the tyres you really want to be on at this stage of the race, because they are going to drop off the cliff. But the thing is, you can see the mediums of Azapral not very far behind, and we are going to see some battles, I think, now in the pits, not on track. So we're going to have, I think, a bit of how do you call it, blank.
Ooh, and sorry to interrupt you at the moment, but I think there's a big battle between the Alfa Romeo and the McLaren right now of Danny and Kaido. We'll definitely want to watch. I think they both pitted early. They are either, I mean, attempting a severe undercut,
Also,
or they got this really wonderful thing called wing
Goldie and
damage.
David Lee pit. So
Both leaders.
everyone is doing either a one.
The two stop.
Yeah, they are. So let's
Either a one stop with really good management, or two stop with pushing the
put
tires
it
as fast as
put
possible.
put it this way: the mediums won't get to the end from here. So you see, this is very interesting what everyone does with the compare into the upper tiers. Start on the mediums, tier 1, 18 people started on the mediums compared to.
Ooh, as Conan nearly goes into DM guy at the moment. He's just going to overtake him, try to overtake him within turns 3 and 4, and maybe even the main straight. He's really, really close. Both the Ferrari-powered cars at the moment. As Goldie gets a 3-second time penalty, that's not going to be good for him. We're going to go on to the main straight, going to
Oh
follow
no!
Connor in the Haas. What's happened?
Goldie getting very fishtaily out of that turn and almost lost it, and he got a 3-second time penalty.
Ooh.
But DM.
Alright, as Kana got the DRS, and Kana does have the DRS on the DM guy, but I think due to him leaving, he's gaining, he's gaining. Is he gonna pass? Is he gonna pass? He's gonna pass. Yes, he is gonna pass. Ooh, is he gonna pass? Yes, he is. Very well in the exit, and he got the inside line. But here is a big drag race at the moment between the both Ferrari powered cars, and Kana in the Haas gets the better exit out of it, as DM guy currently in the Ferrari does sit back through one of his customers, I guess, behind one of his customers, as Goldie is behind DM guy right now in the Mercedes-powered Alpha Racing Point. Nearly said something wrong. But pretty much, I think it's going to be a battle to the start-finish line. DM guy is not looking good here on those 6-lap-old mediums. Obviously, it's a better strategy, but speaking of Goldie, who has the pace and the pressure tires, it's interesting as Goldie does get DRS. Is he going to be close enough to overtake on the start-finish line?
No, he's not.
No, he is not. But maybe potentially on the main straight. We're going to be on board with him for a while. Marley does go into pit, potentially even for the medium or hard tires. We all see medium and soft runners at the moment. The only two soft runners are out there are Madel and Dragoon in the Red Bull and Renault, respectively. So both the R teams are in there.
they're gonna try and go.
Ooh, and as Goldie does overtake DM guy within the corner, didn't even have to use the main straight. However, the DM guy now has the main straight and is most likely going to get DRS on Goldie. As he does get DRS, he's gaining. He's gaining that Ferrari power. Enzo Ferrari says if you can't build engines, you build aerodynamics. He's gaining. He's gaining. Is he going to look down the inside? No, he's not. He doesn't have the space nor the room nor the patience because he doesn't want to lose a front wing or to get a penalty. So it's very well respectable racing from him, but I don't think that DMBI is going to fare too well. He's just going to defend for his life, especially against his teammate David Lee,
Oh, in
who's
the
just
background.
pitted for the soft compounded tires, who's going for two softs and then one long stint on the medium. That's going to be very interesting to see. But if he does have the pace, it could potentially work, but he's going to have to pit within 6 laps. He's going to have to make the absolute most of the 6 laps. So did he just lose or win the race with this tire strategy? We will find out.
What I was getting,
Looking at the rest,
I was gonna say, what the
yeah.
thing is, people doing this two-stop, you'd think they go soft, medium, or soft, hard. Well, soft, medium, soft, or soft, soft, medium. Because the thing is, if safety car comes out, you've pretty much screwed yourself out of, because you've got to use that other tyre compound, haven't you? So it is very hard to say that. But Nado is the only one on this field to go onto the hards. Goldie picks up another time
And
penalty.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but Goldie gets another 3 second time penalty. Is that going to affect his league race? Oh, definitely. It must do. It's going to be a hell
I
of
was
a
gonna say,
hell of a thing.
sorry, DM guy is, like you said, we saw him a few laps ago struggling on those tyres, and it looks like his teammate has got so much better traction as they come out. The DRS straight as the handicap picks up another 3 second time penalty, and the DM guy
And
just
so
lets
let's
him go
watch.
through. But behind them, Marley is actually, I think, gonna have a go on DM guy now as
Oh, well, at least the M guy does give him a bit of respect, but he does have the inside line. Oh, David Lee blocks up hard, and that might be Marley's place for the taking as soon as they get another DRS detection zone, or maybe on this start-finish line. A lot of people are getting 3 second time penalties. I think if they get too many, that's going to be their race over. But currently we're on lap 9, and a lot of people say, oh, France is boring. No, it isn't, people. Look at this. Look at how much action there is from all of these skill drivers. Well, very well done. It was an excellent race driven by everyone. As Dragon is the leader in the Renault in his home Grand Prix, does go into the pits, and it might be a big transition from the mediums, could last, but I think it's gonna be the hard tire, and it is the hard tire. So just a cool tire change, and he's out of the pits already. He's in P6 at the
I was
moment.
going to say, obviously, the people who started Con and Goldie are both now coming closer together, and we are getting a lot closer. And hello, Mr. Zippy. He was going to be commentating tonight, but unfortunately he was just home a bit late, so he couldn't do it. So hopefully we'll see him in the commentary box at some point. But great to see him in chat, and after seeing me doing LNR last night, let's do that. And Zach also in there, but either way, we've got the two leaders now. We've got the DRS, but the one thing is, Toby has got his teammate to get that barrier in between him and the Haas driver, because I think they could be battling for the lead of this race. But he's Con going to do that, and it looks like my controller just spazzed out for a second. But is Condor going to be able to get past him? Is Goldie going to be close enough? He's just a little bit too far back to overtake him through sector 2, but I think Kondarov is going to be trying to get onto Toby soon. But Toby might be wanting to pit to get onto those hard tyres pretty soon, and help his teammate out in the battle for this lead. But I think the one person we've still got to keep an eye on is Nadal, and he's actually so close to Con. He's not really worked out for him, I don't think, because if you look at him just in between leaders, Conrad, all the gaps ain't working, GG Codis, so we have to wait for Aspriest to cross the line. But saying that, Cosmin is going to be very close to him, and he's got the DRS. He's the sister AlphaTauri team, going to have a go at Red Bull into turn 1. Cosmin having to go into turn 1 and gets past Asbury, and Conrad gets past Toby, but will Toby let his teammate through? And I think he will, as they switch over as Gold.
Ooh, and as you can see, Goldie and Toby, yeah, I think it was as you said, they let him through, but definitely going wide is going to compromise his position to Dave Lee, so could possibly see that
Oh,
Toby might
sorry, we've
hold
got
David Lee up, but
Danny Welfare in behind with Madel, and those medium tyres obviously getting so much more grip at this stage, just gets past him. So Daniel Lamphere now will be looking to get past DM
Ooh,
guy.
but as we said this, Nadal, he's going past Danny at the moment with
We're gonna
those
have three
hard tires,
body.
and maybe even get past DM guys. So that's two past, that's two positions. There's a yellow flag. It's a crash. There's a crash between Marley and Toby. What happened there? Is there any wing damage from either of them? Let's just look at the cams. Yep, that's I think that's wing damage on the Renault. That's the left end plate gone, and from Toby as well. Yep, that's also wing damage on the Racing Points. Both their end plates are
Oh,
gone.
Cosmin.
Oh
Is
my
that
god.
Cosmin as well? Cosmin had.
Cos
Cosmin's had. Is that Cosmin? Yeah, Cosmin's dropped down the order and he's got wing damage. So I'm not sure what happened to Cosmin there. And he's just lost it. And it looks like we've had a little bit of an incident with the leaders as Cosmin has to pit now. So does Toby. But it's both driving such a good race. But the problem was, you could just see with what happened to DM guy. Sometimes these free people, well, free wide into that turn does not go, and you just run out of space half the time. So DM guy having to back out of that. But at the moment, Nadal, I'm getting safe to say, is possibly on for the win of this race, and looks like to be the one beating everyone in strategy at the minute. But Goldie and Con are both getting a lot closer to getting into the net lead of this race, but Asprey has still got to stop. But I feel sorry for Toby because he was driving such a decent race, but unfortunately he got that wing damage. As behind, Goldie gets past Kondorov and also gets past Asprey's, as Asprey's has to take the escape road there, and Rex it doing it, but we have it.
Sector 2 yellow flag. Sector 2 yellow
Yeah,
flag. What's happening?
that was just Asprey's going through the runoff area.
Is that not a 10
No,
second time
no,
penalty?
he didn't get one. He did
No.
it. He did it long enough. But saying that, Davey Lee has got past him as well. And Davey Lee is going to try and make this two-stop work like these guys are doing at the moment, and he is closing them down. But the question is, how long can those softs last? I don't think they can go much further, as
No.
Marley is staying out with his wing damage. So Marley is actually putting that. Surprisingly, he's putting the pressure on Nadal.
Speaking of how long on the softs left, 5 laps apparently as he goes into the pits now. That's gonna be mediums for the rest of the race for the rest of the 15 laps, which is pretty decent. I feel like he could have stretched his soft up a little bit more, but hey ho, you
I'd say
know, things happen, I guess.
Davey Lee's pitted as well. So Davey Lee
Yeah.
going on to those mediums now to the end of the race, and is the first one. But saying that, we've got Marley struggling a lot with those that wing damage, and it looks like he is going to go up with Danny Lamphere, and Danny Lamphere is the one who is going to get past him in the straight. But let's ride on board with Danny and see his exit compared to Marley's. Marley's obviously got that wing damage, and you can see he's already taken that wider line. But it looks like Marley's got,
Really good
Marley's got the,
exit from Danny. Or it's gonna get DRS. Now I don't think he's gonna be close enough because Danny also has DRS. That's the only truth.
Dragathon.
I don't think he's gonna be close
Sorry, his
enough.
teammate though, he's got on Kado, and he has got past him, and Kado on those mediums, but Dragathon on those hards, and he is just steam past him at the minute. But I think Danny is just falling back a bit, but Dragathon looks like he is getting a lot closer. And actually, sorry to interrupt, I think that is, I know who that is Necro. I've got the drivers completely mixed up, and Dragathon is actually Necro, so apologies for that. I know who he is now. So either way, Negro is back in the Renault seat after was it a race or 2 race absent, but it is good to see him back on the grid. But the main person who I think could be on for a recovery drive here is Neon Rays.
Ooh, as Marley, he just locks up, and I think Danny's gonna overtake him on the main straight into sector 2. Sorry to interrupt you there, but looking at tire strategy at the moment, I mean everyone's going from these softs to the mediums to the hards. Marley is the only one out there. I think he's I don't know if he's, I think maybe he's trying to stay up as much as he can to make as much time to get into a points position. But I think he should have just pitted as soon as he got that wing damage and made up the places now, because it's not so long, it's not so much that you can do that now, you know.
Yeah, and
But
he just loses a bit too much time in that sense. So he's not going to really be able to gain much more from it. But either way, Davy Lee, he's obviously now going to the end. But what's his gap to Nadal? And Davy Lee's gap is 15 seconds. So I suspect we are going to see Necro, Nadal, the ones on the podiums at this rate, because that's 13 laps. I think Goldie and Con are not going to have the life in those mediums to get to the end, especially Con. He's got to stop again. He cannot take those mediums another 10 laps without them blowing up his fusions and Asprey swap places coming through. But Con, saying that, does pit, so he has made the decision to pit now, and Goldie carrying on as we just get a bit further into this race. But Marley pits now and actually picks up a 3-second time penalty for going in the pit lane. But one person who's having a decent debut at the minute is Kaido, and he's doing very well in that McLaren, and he has waited a long time to show what he can do, and it is great. And we have a yellow flag, and we have a safety car.
Oh, safety car.
That's gonna.
I think it's someone's gone off. Someone's
Cosmin,
gone off. I
Cosmin,
think it
Cosmin,
Cosby.
Cosmin, yep, and
Uh,
Cosmin was having such a great race. So Cosmin has pulled off to the side, or was he retired? Oh, he's gone into the wall. Looks like his tyres come off, so that's going to throw the spanner in the works for a lot of people who have.
a lot of people should have pitted now. Actually, that gives an optimal opportunity to Marley. He should have waited out now, but
No, the
oh
person
no.
this has worked out brilliantly for is Con Durinov, as he pitted for mediums. Marley, Neon Rays, Toby, and the handicap have all worked out with beautiful strategies here, as they can now all go to the end. But Con looks like he's got one of them Goldie, and Goldie is going to lose out now unless he can get into that pit lane and get out ahead of the Haas driver. But I think he's probably just going to have about enough to do, because he's got a 28-second gap to him. So Goldie now could potentially come out clear of Con, because the gap to him is quite far, in all honesty. But then his teammate was, so Goldie does pit for those, and Nadal, his race effectively ruined on that hard strategy because of this safety car. But Danny Lanfear is going to have the luxury of pitting, so
Oh, he is pitting though. He is pitting, so he might just pit for the medium
I was going to say
tires.
everyone is pitting, but let's see where this brings out Kondorov.
Oh, some wing damage. I think there was contact between Dragathan and Kaido. So that's gonna be a little bit
Is
more of a piss
I
up to
think Goldie. I
Kaido.
think Goldie's
Yeah.
going to get out ahead of Con. Is Goldie? Yes, he is. Goldie's come out ahead of Kondorov, and that is huge. As he comes across the line now, Kondorov, well, Fusion's pits, but the main thing is Goldie has come out in the lead of this race ahead of Kondorov.
With fresh tires. With fresh tires as well. Yeah.
And Danny Lanfear on the hards. So, you know, this is quite a crazy race. And oh, thank you for that bluff. Cosman's controller died, and oh, that is unfortunate for him. Like Kawini's wheel yesterday, his controller giving way, and a bit ironic here. That's happened to me when I first did my first ever France race in F1 2018. My controller died because I didn't charge the battery on it, so that was my own fault. But the Honda Euro B not doing good. But either way, can we, Mr. Bloff, the driver who is not here tonight, just having a break, can you give us any insight into what is going on at the Eurobeat garage at the moment in chat, so we just know what the strategy is going to be for the end of the race? But we will get that in a minute, as I think we'll have one lap behind the safety car while we just get this wreckage up off the track. And yeah,
Alright.
I mean, what's your overall at the minute? What's your thoughts on this race? And
Oh,
I think,
it's been hella hectic.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna.
If safety car comes out at France, it's been hectic, you know? Well, it's been an interesting tire strategy to say the least. Some people's races have been completely botched, and some people's races have been completely saved because of this.
Yeah, I was gonna.
But here, I feel like 10 laps is gonna be interesting. The last 10 laps, people are gonna be jockeying for position. A lot of people have not so worn tires. I would say the people, I think Goldie is gonna definitely just be one of the contenders for the race win because he just got that raw pace. David Lee, who's fought his way from fourth to third. Danny's gone into the pits now.
The M guy's gone into the pits. I think he must have had a bit of wing damage. And what's happened to Danny? Oh, I know what's happened to Danny. Danny is
Yeah,
going on two Vsauce tires.
the tough.
So Danny
Yeah,
obviously.
but will he have enough time to make it up? Is the big question.
So
It's only 10 laps at the moment, as we currently have a quote from Bloth at the moment. So he says, "Yeah, thanks Adam for having us here for this race. We're currently facing R&D difficulties, hence why we're underperforming at the moment. We've already found the issue and look forward to Austria, where we have fixed issues and had until then." So that is bloke at the I think it's the Red Bull garage at the moment. So that's gonna be that's good to hear from the Red Bull garage that everything's good with the Honda engine. Please don't make it like the McLaren engine back in 2015. But yeah, I actually really want to watch Danny. Got the freshest tires, got the fastest tires, got the newest tires. He's gonna be contention for it. I'd say a top five finish if things play right. But it is only 10 laps. That is the main thing, right? Even 9 because the safety car is currently going out here. But it's gonna be extremely hectic. I'd say keep an eye on Danny at the moment.
yeah.
So yeah, please don't make a GP2 engine Honda. Yours sincerely, everyone. Also get back into F1, please. We miss Honda, BAR.
Oh,
You
was
know?
it BAR and Honda bringing out the
Yeah.
God, I forgot who was the owner because obviously this team started because Jack Villeneuve left Williams where they had safety cars in at the end of this lap. So yeah, Jack Villeneuve obviously leaving Williams to go and start a project to try and make him a world champion again, but for reasons that didn't work out. But he still got it. But that's a story for another time as we just wait up for the final few.
Keeping an eye on Danny here in the Alfa Romeo.
I was gonna
That's gonna be
I was
interesting.
just about to see when Goldie was about to gun it with like 10 laps to go of this French GP, and I think Goldie is going to go in the second. He's literally waiting for the last moment to go, but Cazares obviously thinking he can go to the end, but Goldie is still not even going. He's just backing them up. Let's have a look. He's gone. So Goldie has gone, and Cazares has.
Ooh, and Medal already making an overtake on Dragonathan in the Rebel as he makes it for the fifth place. Yeah, they're going wheel to wheel. And do they touch? No, they don't touch at the moment, but they
Neon
are
Rays.
going wheel to
Neon,
wheel through turns two
Neon Rays
and
coming.
three at the moment. Leon Race, he's in the Mercedes. I feel like it's a Super Max team playing, but at the moment it's the Mercedes power against the Honda engine. It's going now onto the main straight at the moment. He gets a decent exit, but
We got
the Dial is
we got action
doing
in the
okay as
background
well.
with Asprey's Toby, and
Ooh, and Marley and Dragonathan, so teammates are overtaking each other. Do they touch? No, they don't. Barely,
we got full
just
wide here. So we
barely
got full
touch.
wide coming up now, and oh my god, how is this gonna end? Oh my god, we see the Williams of Keane flying off into the background there, and definitely taking the escape road. But that was just like a heart-wrenching moment, thinking all four of those guys were going to go into each other. But the person who's gained a lot from this is Neon Rays and Davey Lee
Oh yeah.
and Cazares going side by side as Davey Lee gets past Cazares. Obviously, Davey Lee didn't pit, but he's going to go side by side and takes him around the outside. The grip of those tyres, just so much more. But I think Kondarov will get past his teammate now as they let each other through. Into the final turn, so Kondarov not going to be held up, but lagging all over the place by the look of it. But he needs to hunt down Goldie as, oh my god, Cazares loses a lot more positions there, and he looks like he's about to lose out to Neon Rays. Neon Rays, after a wretched start to the race, on a great recovery, but he looks like he's going to go around the outside of
Is
Nadal.
he gonna go overtake Nadal? Nope, he doesn't have the speed to do it over here. So I think he might just do on the start finish line, maybe even on these or on the main sector, or even on the start finish line again. We don't know per se. But yeah, let's go. It's a battle for second place, and there's four cars in contention. It's all about DRS here. I think David Lee is the one to who's going to try to defend as Kana goes down the inside of David Lee, gets the position done, but David Lee is
Oh, we've
not
got
gonna let that. No, 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 no,
Renault's
no.
free wide. It looks like the clear, but what do
Ooh,
they?
Renault's. Ooh, oh, Dragusega gets the inside line, but his teammate nearly gets past, nearly loses the car from Chrysides. And Chrysides splits the two Renaults
Fusions.
from P7 and 8, but it's still a drag race down the main street. That French power is going there as Fusions is also going there. So Chrysides had the positions and then has just ultimately
It's
lost
those tires.
all of
It's
them.
those tires. He shouldn't have stayed out. His tires, 12 laps on, and he's just been
Oh, I
swept.
think it's Kaido. Kaido trying to go on the outside of him. Is he gonna get the better exit? Oh, they touch. They touch, and I think that's wing damage. And I think that's Asperus that who just got in Kaido's position. And I think it's a Red Bull at the moment trying to get to Haas. And Haas is pitching right now. Oh, that's only about what is it like five
Oh,
laps?
in the
No,
background, Danny
9 laps
Lamfitt,
to go.
Danny Lamfitt and Kaido. Kaido didn't get wind damage, but Danny Lamfitt on those softs, climbing the field so fast. But is it going to be enough to get him in?
I think it is. It might just be the grip, might just be the braking that he's just gotten. I think it's the right strategy and potentially could even help him get within a potential podium. But I don't want to do anything as White Chai has left the session thing is just internet issues. But it's just gonna go down to the main straight right now. It's a Red Bull versus an Alfa Romeo. Going down the main straight is DRS is also enabled this lap, so it's going to be a very helpful
Nadal,
as
sorry,
DRS is enabled.
Nadal's going to have a go on Davy Lee into the turn, and is he? And oh no,
Ooh, what is a touch? It's contact, and Nadal goes spinning, and his chances of a podium are gone further than you can imagine. As Dragunison says, "Thank you very much. I'll take that for P5." And Nadal says, "No, thank you. I would like that back." And does the drag race with the Renner. The Renner's got the outside line. The Nadal's got the inside line. Where's he gonna go? I think it's gonna be the inside line, but the outside line, but the inside line, but the outside line. It's Dragunison that gets the better traction and out of that corner, and that's Nadal is race over. As Marley is like, "Hi, I would kind of like to make it a 5-6 for Renault." And as Nadal is trying to attack, we got Marley in the other Renault, so that French dominated power. Potentially even helping them, but as Dragunison locks up at the moment, you have Danny Lafear who's trying to overtake Asperis. As is he gonna do it on the start finish line? As Asperis also gets DRS on fusions at the moment, who is chasing Marley. But is he gonna get it? Is he gonna get it? Ooh, it's very close, but I don't think he had enough speed. There's only about 8 laps left within the Grand Prix, and especially with a time second penalty, you don't know where people could end up.
yeah, I was.
But I think it's gonna be the he nearly goes back. Danny nearly goes
He's
into
got
the
so much
back
more
of the
grip.
Red
He's
Bull.
got so
Of
he's
the,
got so much more grip in those soft
he's got
tires.
so much more grip.
And let's see what he does. I'm actually going to go on
Indeed.
board with him. And let's see how he does. I think he's just dropped back a bit, but the thing is now,
Come on.
Fusions now could be in jeopardy from Asbreeze as he comes up.
Would it be?
He goes, oh my
Ooh.
god, that was a bit of questionable defending, but he does get past him, and that was very nice even after that. But Fusions now could be about to lose that to Daniel. I think he just holds on for now. But saying that, his teammate is obviously climbing so much. Neon, Fusions.
Oh, and Fusion does go on the inside of the Asperus, and he does take the inside. So he's trading places like Hockenheim in the 1970s with the Alfa Romeo and the Lotus. As Asperus goes on the inside, nearly touches the back, the rear right wheel of Fusions and the Mercedes. So it's the Mercedes and the Red Bull. Oh, nearly goes into the back of him. I think it's just the tires out of the mid grip as Fusions. Asperus takes over Fusions, and Fusions is in P9, and then Danny might snatch a position. He might go down the outside. He does not have the grip. Oh, he does go down the inside, outside. Oh my god! As the soft tires out of the grip, and the Alfa Romeo and the Mercedes, they do touch, and and the McLaren and the Alfa Romeo do touch, and it's just his strategy being removed. I think that is definitely.
Oh,
Oh, it's a battle for 8th place at the moment as the McLaren actually takes the position, and you've got Fusions, Danny, Kaido, and everyone. I think we've got everyone just battling for 8th place at the moment. And with time second penalty, we can see what happens. It's the main straight. That's going to be the most interesting part. This is one of the most exciting races I've ever commentated. As Danny and Kaido go down the outside of the Alfa Romeo without even DR. Oh my god, that's spin! He's spun and he's hit the wall. And as Asperus is in the Red Bull, has lost the wing damage. He's lost his wing, and I think that's his race potentially even over unless he can defend for his absolute life. And as Kaido
Danny Lam,
Danny Lafair
Danny Lanfear's this.
has left the session.
Oh no, I think
I think
he's
that's
disconnected.
it's just disconnect. That's a shame from him. Fusions in the Mercedes right now is defending for his life. Marley is trying to catch up to the Red Bull to reunite with his teammate, and Madal is trying to catch up to the Renault, and the Renault is trying to catch up with the Ferrari, and the Ferrari is trying to catch up with the Mercedes, and the Mercedes is trying to catch up with the Haas, and the Haas is trying to catch up with Goldie, who has been leading this race absolutely flawless, now for every lap, but for majority of laps, and there's about 4 laps to go within this Grand Prix at the moment, and we can see what happens. And it's going to be a hell of an interesting race. We got battles with 4 cars only for P6 as a position, as from P8 downwards is where the chaos really begins.
We have a yellow
As
flag.
Danny Lafair, ooh, yellow flags, yellow flags. I think someone's
Aspirin.
gone off, and I think it is the Red Bull. It's the Red Bull of Aspirin. He has no front wing. His front wing is gone. I think that is his race over. Contending for the top 10 is now his race over, and he's retired from the session.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
That's the yellow flag in Sector 3, and that's not going to be good
I
for
was
him.
gonna.
What a shame.
I don't.
Danny is pitting on the new mediums, even though there's 4 laps left. I don't think
I
he
think
had
his
soft
I think it.
first tires.
Something's obviously
Yeah.
gone up because he shouldn't. Why is it changed him onto 10-lap-old medium tyres, Cody's, and well done. I'm not sure what happened to him because he seemed he was going fine, and then suddenly his game just went. Kaido and Fusions trading places now and doing really well, and Kaido up into P8, getting past Fusion. So at the end, this race is going to be interesting to see. But the main battle is Kaido, Necro, Nadal, Necro, and Davey Lee all getting in that position. There's Controller and Kazure's trade positions, but Kazure's obviously not in the race because his car's ghosted. But we are going to have an enthralling end to this race with 3 laps to go, and penalties obviously are going to make a massive swing in the final results as we.
All right. Now I'm going to take on board with Dragunathan because he has a good, really good chance. I'd say Dragunathan or David Lee will be the best on board with as Neon races to really defend for his life. Goldie, he's in a comfortable position. Just give him a cup of tea. Connor, he's also in a comfortable position. Also give him a cup of tea. But Neon Ray is in P3
Keen and Toby.
being chased by David
We've
Lee.
got Keen and Toby trading
Toby?
places. Yeah, it was just on the main straight from the DRS. But obviously keeping an eye on this battle for P4 and well P3, the final podium position, because this train is absolutely long and a lot longer than a few would expect. But is Neon? Neon's got the gap.
May I say that Sicko 6 would request to show all the penalties within the race, please?
Yeah, I'll do it in a minute. But
Yeah.
we've got Fusions losing out to DM guy and David Lee, Necro going side by side, and oh my god, Necro getting around the outside of David Lee. And
Alright, that's Madal on Dragunathan. And Dragunathan, I think he's gone up to P4 at the moment, so he's just chasing Neon Rays in P3. He's just got to get the DRS and enough
David Lee's gonna go
pace.
again, and he just steps out from there. But yeah, Fusions is dropping like a stone at the minute. Just Fusions. Oh, what's going on with Fusions? He's literally just dropping all the way back. He was on the charge, but then, unlike his teammate, he's had the adverse effect. But Nadal has spun. Oh,
This is a yellow flag. I think that's who is it?
Nadal,
Who is it? I
Nadal.
think it's the Red Bull. Nadal. Oh no, he was on contention for potentially getting in a podium today, and that's it. You know,
But
jeez, man. Especially there's 2 laps left within this Grand Prix. We're gonna go on board with Goldie on the final lap, but currently at the moment, still a battle for the last podium position at the moment to Neon Rays, Dragunathan, and Davey Lee. So we're gonna see what happens there as we go onto the main straight. Neon Rays, he got a good exit, and then we've got Dragunathan at the moment. He's gonna get DRS. He's gonna get DRS. He's gonna get DRS. He's gonna get DRS. He is closing and he's reeling and he's reeling in like a fish on a hook, and it is not close enough, but it is close enough to get him. But Davey Lee is also in the same position that Dragunathan is in, but a bit further away. But Marley, we could see a potential P5, maybe a potential lunge like what Danny Kvyat attempted to do with the Russian GP, but we got to keep it racing, as David Lee does pick up a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So that's very, very interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
So currently at the moment we're on lap 26 of the Grand Prix as Goldie does cross the line. I think lap 27 we're gonna follow him around the track, and I think it's been a superb race driven by all the drivers. Especially you've had drivers who have come up from the back of the grid, and you've had
We've got
drivers who have
Necro.
uh,
Necro is going to have a go on Neon, but I don't think he is going to be able to get him into turn one. He is just holding back a little bit to try and get him in. But Goldie picks up a 3-second time penalty. So Goldie, I think, is just going to lose the win on countback here to penalties. Countback's a completely different thing. But saying that, behind the final podium position is being heavily contested by Necro, Davey, and Marley. So, you know, they are getting so close to each other, and Keen and DM Guy are both getting closer to the final points position. So, but behind you can see Neon and Davey Lee all defending for different positions. Neon and Necro going side by side into the turn as Necro just gets forced out a bit by Davey, but Davey Lee gets overtaken by Marley for P5, and Neon Rays holds on now, but Necro coming back at him. This is an exciting final, well, penultimate lap, and it's going to be all to play for as we come to the final lap in just a second, but Neon Rays just holding
I
off.
think they're going to finish trying to get on the inside of Neon Rays. However, I don't think he's enough speed, so it might be the start finish line or the final lap of the final thing. And we're on board with Goldie at the moment. We're going to follow him for the final lap of the Grand Prix until some more action happens, mainly. But I think there's already action because the two Renaults are reunited in P4 and P5 at the moment. And let's see what happens. Right, as Neon Rays goes in, he's defending for his lap. It's the final lap of the French GP. Has been a wonderful race as he does go down into turn one, goes down to turn two, and then it's going to go down the main straight. I think Marley's going to overtake his teammate, or we might see a Ricardo Verstappen happen, much like Baku. But David Lee, the Ferrari, has all proof, so he could potentially overtake or P4 at the moment.
I was going to see
So
what happens. He's getting it close, but Necro looks like he is not going to be able to get Neon, but will Marley be able to overtake his teammate? And
Marley is going to be able to overtake his teammate, but would that be beneficial for the team? Would no, I think it would just be scoring a handful of points as he does back off. So that's
sorry, behind
that's good to see.
Kaido and Madal switch places, and that is Kaido overtaking full position, and one recovery driver I've got to speak about is the handicap, who has done an absolutely amazing job, and commentator's curse picks up a 3-second time penalty, so does the guy behind him, but doing that. But sorry to interrupt, we've got Goldie.
Yeah.
Goldie is coming up to the penultimate turn now, and
I feel like he's driven a absolutely wonderful race. He's led majority of laps in this Grand Prix, and as he goes down the main straight, and as he takes the checker flag, Goldie in the Racing Point wins in France. Very well done. Up next in the Haas comes Kona in second, and Kona actually gets first position due to time penalties.
Neon
Rays gets second, Marley gets third, Goldie gets fourth, Dragunov gets fifth, David Lee gets sixth, Madal gets seventh, Madal actually gets fifth, Kaido gets eighth, the handicap gets ninth, the AM guy gets ninth, handicap gets 10th, Keen gets 11th, Toby gets 12th, Keza Rix gets 13th. Toby actually is the fastest.
Toby
okay.
wins.
Wow.
No, he's already set a 106. It's when he glitched out earlier. So
yeah. Fusions comes home in P14 in the Mercedes. Controller comes in P15, and then Watchai and both the Alfa Romeos, who are both ghosted, come home in P16 and P17. And that is your grid for today. I hope you guys did enjoy watching. It has been an absolute pleasure commentating with you. And yeah, let's go to
the final results.
Top step.
And Toby did that, and Toby obviously on the top step of the podium. Sorry for that. And he is gonna be asked to leave in a minute because Kondorov doing that. But driver of the day, I'm gonna probably have to give it to Neon Rays after that spin on lap 1. forcing his way up back to second, and for that great result. And I am very pleased for him. And there you go. Neon Rays Kondorov on the podium, but the final classified race results is Kondorov P2, no P1, Neon Rays P3, Marley P3. It's confusing. Goldie P4, Madel P5, Necro P6, and Toby actually filters into down there. But that was a very interesting race to say. But either way, we will be back in a moment for the driver interviews. So we will be back pretty soon.
See you guys.
Okay.
And I was going to say, right then, we are on to the driver interviews. I'm just making sure everything's fine. And we have got race winner P3 and P5 with Necro, Marley, and Comrade. So we'll start off with our race winner, Comrade. That was a pretty close call. 2/10 you won by on penalty. Was you really looking at thinking you was going to beat Goldie on the penalties, or was you aware of it? But just take us through.
I was worried about I don't know his pseudo, the P3. Comment il s'appelait? I was worried about Neon Rays because he had no penalties and I had 3 seconds, and I won the race in the last corner. I had 2.8 seconds ahead, last corner. When I take je sais plus parler anglais, les gars.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm fucking happy. Yes.
I was gonna say, I'll say your teammate obviously stayed out a bit longer and couldn't do that. But I was just like, hang on, is he closing the gap down to Goldie? But you pitted at the perfect time for those mediums when that safety car came out, and you clearly spurred that on to the end.
The safety car was not a gift for me because Goldie had a free stop, and I was P4 at the restart.
Yeah.
So I had to overtake Madal and Kaiser 6. So I lost many times, 3 seconds.
Yeah, but either way, you managed to. But we'll now move on to Mr. Marley and Mr. Necro from Renault. So Marley on the podium and Necro. Was there going to be team play on the final lap of the switching of the cars around, or was there not really going to be that? Was it team orders, or was you racing for position?
Well, to be honest, there was no really team orders because he had 3 more seconds than I did. So at the end, we knew that I was gonna be in front of him, and the best thing we could do is to make him go as fast as possible to not drop too far with the 6 seconds.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had a bit of a fight, like I think lap 20, 21, where yeah we were fighting side by side. Maybe it wasn't the the cleverest thing because you lost a bit of time. So Necro had to fight for 3-4 laps to catch the DRS chain. So it might have cost us some positions, but it was a really good race. Yeah, we paid attention when we fought, and yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Mm.
Was I say, does Shiv have any questions to ask or not?
No, I just was wondering how you guys are going to be gearing up for the next race, and what do you think you could have improved in this race? Is all I was asking for, and yeah,
No penalties. I
no
Well,
think.
penalties.
not
Yeah, no
really.
Yeah,
penalties.
that's
Because
really
at the end I was pushing the car and yeah, I had 6 seconds penalty at the end and just 6 seconds at the beginning, like to
yeah,
lap 1 to lap 20, I think.
yeah,
And
same.
yeah, that's because I was just behind Neon, I think, in the Mercedes. And yeah, I don't know how he gets his rear acceleration. I mean, at the exit of the turn, he was so quick. I don't know how he was able to make that, but
Yeah,
he drove a
Yeah, the
really good
traction he's
race.
talking about the
yeah,
traction.
Yeah, the
He got
traction,
every
yes.
time on the throttle.
Yeah, it was impressive, and yeah, nothing I can
yeah,
do. And yeah, I was like I had 12 seconds penalty, so yeah, obviously I was
yeah,
demoted to P5. But anyway, really good race,
yeah,
and it was a
yeah.
really fun race.
It was obviously like you were driving really comfortably. You took pole and whatnot, and it was quite good. I think you very impressed us with your qualifying. Me and both Addy were very shocked at the timing. Like, oh wow, okay, that's that's pretty interesting. But yeah, just honestly, the next race is Austria, I think. So head down, try to practice on the track, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys next one. Looking forward to commentate on the
Yeah,
next one.
I was gonna say. I
So
mean, we'll see what the commentary brings next week, but yeah, we'll see what we can do. But for that was a I was more impressed is we got 17 cars over the line, which was very impressive. But either way, we will be back for Austria next week, and looking after that, we are in for a treat. So goodbye from me and Shiv. We shall see you next week for Austria, and that will be the outro. Actually, I don't know. I was thinking about doing some trivia, or just predictions already over the week for next weekend. But what weekend? I mean, for next Thursday. But anyway, till then, we shall be back. And good night from us all here at Align Motorsports. And obviously, hit the follow button if you like what you see. And God, I sound like a cringy YouTuber. Anyway, good night.
Yeah,
good night.